Um, I'm just a guy that introduces himself exactly as what I've said. I've had some luck, I've had some bad luck, I've made luck, but at the end of the day, I'm just, I'm in the States now as well. We can come on to that later on. Doing talks out there. I'm off there next week. So I've gone from being a Carlisle kid that was being bullied because of my size, that went through the whole system, which you obviously know about, and ended up now helping others to maybe try to achieve what I never thought or dreamt was achievable. And that's a God honest truth. I did it without a family. So how did I do it? That's the question. And that's the type of person I am. I'm still working. I'm still doing talks for people, still doing presentations all over the place. You know, uh, but that's me. I don't want to sit down and retire. At my age, people say, no, that's not the case. The case is that if you enjoy what you're doing, what's the point in sitting down and saying, yeah, I've done that. No, I've got more plans,
Oh,
you know, and I start again Thursday. I've got a big talk down at down at the Bisley, which are the ranges in the UK, shooting ranges, and then it's the States. So that's where I am. You know, all of a sudden, uh, I've hit America. It's not supposed to happen.
so how does that? How do you juggle that, the success you've had, the legacy that you've had, with your upbringing? You mentioned being bullied and things like that. How do you kind of look back at that time now to the man you are now? How do you judge those two different Rusties?
Sorry, could you just repeat that?
Yeah. So how would you judge the Rusty that was bullied and brought up in the small village to the Rusty that you are now? The one with the legacy, the honors, the medals you've won. How do you find that looking back now? Because you were frog marched down to the recruitment office by a family member. How do you come to terms with that and what you could have done?
Well, it's easy to look back, but actually, I spend a lot of time of looking forward because what's gone is gone, and I've had to blank it out of my mind from a very, very early age when I was adopted at 14 months. So
Hmm.
somewhere I must have pissed my mother off to get adopted at that sort of age, to people I didn't even know. So I've had to come out fighting, and the fight from within is still there. I don't hate anybody, but I've not had what you might call a proper family life in the early years. Yeah, I was a rebel. I was long hair, and I can look back on that and go, well, the reason is there was nobody there to really care. So what do you do? Because if there's no care, no love, no nothing, you just go on and keep fighting the battles, hoping. And that's what I did. My life could have changed at 15 had I got £50 to buy myself out of the army, which in 1965 was a lot of money, but I
Yeah.
couldn't get it.